God is saying to you. Stop whatever you're doing for a moment and breathe in slowly. There's a warm hush moving over this screen. And it's not random. The air around you feels charged because what I'm about to say is not simply advice or encouragement. It's a direct message from the guardian angels who have been watching over you. You've been praying, deciding, turning over heavy things in your mind. And those acts, small, faithful, stubborn, have thrown a stone into the still water of the spiritual world. Ripples are now colliding with currents you've been unable to see. And what was once latent is waking up. I need you to hear this with your whole heart. Your choices have mattered more than you thought. And they have opened a set of doors that heaven has been waiting to open for you. Think back to the moment you finally let go of something. Maybe a relationship that wasn't right, a job that drained you, or a dream that had to be revised. Remember the relief, the tiny trembling peace that followed, even if it was mixed with fear. That moment of surrender was not a sign of weakness. It was a key. The angels are saying that your surrender created space in the room of your life for new things to come in. When we stop clutching, we stop blocking. When we admit we don't know the whole story, God and the angels begin to write the next chapter. This is why the next piece of news that arrives may feel shocking at first, because it is not the kind of shift that trickles in. It is the kind that arrives like a sunrise, suddenly brightening everything it touches. I want to tell you about a woman I met in a dreamlike story. A story that felt so real she still woke with the taste of it in her mouth. She had spent years grinding, trying to force doors open that would not budge. One evening, exhausted, she prayed quietly, "If you want me to stay, make it clear. If not, help me let go." The next morning, she received a phone call that changed everything. An opportunity she had been waiting for, but she had given up on, landed at her feet like a gift. She wept because she knew the timing wasn't random. The angels had been poised, waiting for her release so they could move. That's the kind of orchestration happening around you now. Your faith in letting go has not been wasted. It has been the precise thing required to trigger a sequence of heavenly movement. Now let's be honest, the word shocking can set the heart racing in the wrong way. Before your mind jumps to worst-case scenarios, hold this thought close. The shocking news ahead is designed to confirm, not to harm. It will be the kind of revelation that rearranges your perspective and makes sense of seasons you couldn't reconcile. Imagine looking at a jigsaw puzzle you've been afraid to finish, and suddenly someone slides the last piece into place. There's a rush of clarity that is almost dizzying. That's what this news will do. It will show you that what you endured, what you grieved over, what you surrendered, was not wasted. Instead, it has been the preparation for something beautiful, purposeful, and deeply aligned with who you were made to be. You may have felt at times like the spiritual world is a series of whispers you keep missing. Maybe the nudges came as a song that wouldn't leave your head, a name that kept popping up, or a dream that felt more like a message than a dream. The angels want you to know those things were real. Each gentle prompt was a breadcrumb leading you toward this turning point. They've been arranging things behind the scenes, aligning people, softening hearts, opening channels. Your recent decisions, especially the painful or courageous ones, were the triggers that asked heaven now. And heaven answered now. That's why you're being called to pay attention. Everything you do in faith now will speed the unfolding of what's coming. And here's something tender the angels wanted me to pass along. You are not being pushed into this change alone. There is a kind of holy accompaniment that happens when God moves. Think of it like a procession. You step forward, and right beside you, the angels step in rhythm. They whisper courage into your ear. They arrange encounters that look accidental but are not. And they carry a sense of peace that can't be manufactured by your will alone. This is real help. It's practical and it's intimate. When the news comes, when the doors fling open, you'll feel their presence like a breeze at your back, guiding you forward rather than a shove that knocks you off balance. You might be wondering what the shocking news will look like. The truth is, it may arrive in many forms. It could be an unexpected confirmation of a gift you forgot you had, an invitation to step into a role you've been praying for but thought passed you by. It could be a reconciliation that happens in a single conversation, clearing years of misunderstanding. It could be financial provision that shows up when you least expect it, or a new community of people who see you and call out your best. Whatever shape it takes, the purpose is the same. To affirm your faith and to release you into more of what you were meant to carry. The angels are saying, prepare not to be fearful, but to be amazed. Let me speak plainly about fear for a second. Fear likes to hijack a sacred moment and make it small. You might hear the word shocking and think, what if this is another blow? If that thought creeps up, acknowledge it, but do not make a home there. Remember the evidence. Moments where protection showed up unexpectedly, doors closed that should have closed, and teachers left when you needed them to leave. Those were not coincidences. Those were the benevolence of the unseen. The upcoming revelation is part of that same tapestry. The angels are orchestrating a net of protection that will catch the news and make it a ladder rather than a trap. Trust the track record. Heaven has been faithful in the small things. It will be faithful in this big one. 2. There is an essential posture that this season calls for. Surrender, but not the kind that is passive. This is a magnificent act of surrender, letting go of your agenda enough to hear God's. It's the willingness to admit you don't see the whole map and to step into the path with your eyes toward heaven. When you do this, you invite a different kind of movement. Doors unlatch. Conversations happen. A creativity you didn't know you had started to show up in your work or relationships. Your soul rearranges itself to fit the new calling. The angels respond to this posture because human consent to grace activates their assignment. Your choice to relax your grip and say, I'm open matters more than you can tally. And it's the key the angels have been standing by to use. I know some of you are tied to outcomes and feel anxious about loss. You've invested so much emotionally and spiritually that the thought of change is terrifying. But consider this. Most transformations that were worth the risk required an initial loss. Seeds had to die to sprout. To step through the door the angels are opening. You need a clean hand. The willingness to let something end so something truer can begin. This is not punishment. It is pruning. The divine gardener is pruning with love, not with cruelty. The pruning is painful in the moment, but productive in the long arc of life. The news ahead will not be the end of you. It will be the pivot toward your growth. As you prepare emotionally and practically, I want you to practice saying a short phrase out loud every morning. I release and I receive. It's simple, but it will train your spirit to let go and to be ready to accept. Practice it at breakfast. Practice walking to your car. Practice it before sleep. Your mouth and your heart are aligned when you speak hope. The angels lean in when you speak hope. They gather around declarations and they translate them into atmosphere change. Over time, those small verbal acts become the turning points of your story. Now, let's address schedules and timing. The angels are not bound by our clocks, but there is a sense of imminence in what they're communicating. Not everything happens overnight, but the chain reaction has started. It's like the first domino falling. Once the initial movement occurs, the cascade follows faster than you expect. So, watch for signs. A new message in your inbox that shifts everything. A face that appears unexpectedly and offers a word, a dream that lands heavy with clarity, or simply a sudden deep peace that confirms you're aligned. When these things come, do not dismiss them as coincidence. Name them as divine and act accordingly. If a door opens, step through. If an apology comes, receive it. If a new path appears, take the first bold step. There is also a communal side to this transformation. You are not only being prepared privately, but positioned publicly. Your change will affect others. The people closest to you will notice shifts and some will be drawn closer while others step away. That's natural. Some relationships are meant to deepen and some to season out. When the news arrives, it will clarify who is in your circle for the long haul. Don't be surprised if a few friendships are reframed. That is simply the new alignment settling into place. The angels in their loving wisdom are making room for those who will walk with you into this new season. I want to share a gentle real image. Imagine you are standing before a sea at dawn. Behind you is the known beach, the familiar work, the circuit of faces, the routines you can recite in your sleep. Ahead, the sea shimmers and a new shore emerges with each wave. The angels are the lighthouse keepers on the cliffs, signaling with steady light. They're not forcing you into the water. They're showing you the safest path to the boat. When you step, a sudden gust may push your hair and your heart toward the horizon. That gust is the shocking news the angel spoke of. An unexpected push that feels startling, but it is exactly what you need to reach the new shore where growth, peace, and fruitfulness await. Before we close, there's one more thing the angels insisted on. I tell you, celebrate now. Don't wait until everything lands perfectly to praise. When small hopeful things arrive, an encouraging text, a sleeping child who wakes calm, a bill that gets paid unexpectedly, stop and celebrate. The angels are buoyed by your recognition. Gratitude is like fuel to their work. It amplifies what they're doing. When you celebrate the small, you hasten the arrival of the large. Keep a list of tiny victories and look at it when impatience threatens. You will see the pattern of goodness and be reassured of the larger unveiling to come. If this message stirred something inside you, let it move you to action. Write what I receive in the comments as a declaration. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder that their surrender has mattered, and subscribe so you won't miss the next word that may arrive at exactly the right time. If you feel led, consider supporting this channel through Super Thanks. Your support helps us keep sharing these timely messages. Walk into this coming week with expectancy. The angels are on your side. The doors are opening. And something wonderfully transformative is on its way. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to reach 10,000 divine subscribers very soon. Please share this video to your loved ones. Type Amen to affirm. Thanks for watching.